Good morning, welcome. It's the time for the 8 a.m. 4 minutes to 8, just a little bit of time to finish off the coffee, welcome a few of you in and get a bit of company going on. And to also perhaps find out how your day is going to pan out today. My husband's gone work. He's not very happy. Kids have got another week, what it feels like, off school. Husband's gone back to work today. The 2nd of January does seem rather abrupt in the getting back to work sense, I think you might find. I know some of you are retired, so just another day perhaps. But yeah, sons, daughters, family members, friends of friends, you'll probably hear a report or two about them not quite being as happy going back to work today. But unfortunately, that's the way life goes, isn't it? Or as I've heard in the past, that's the way the mop flops. Happy New Year, +1 of a day. Yes, Sheila. Good morning to you. Morning, Gillian. It's still raining where you are. Yeah, there's been many a flood around Leicestershire. Few roads closed. Not that we'd know in Fleckney where I am. It's okay. We get away with it all right. Couple of roads are affected around us though. Right, morning Maddie. Morning Chris. Vivian, Paul are in as well. Sandra's in as well. I can see you're ready for your 8 a.m. So today, Bex is on the 4 p.m. today. I'll pick up the noon. But Rommel has to have a visit to the vets for 11:30. So I'm going to do my bestest to get back. But just be aware if I'm a little late coming on. So I expect around 12:15 rather than 12 noon today. Right, Maddie's off going to have a swim after here. Still wet. Yep, I think we've got the worst over and done with. Raining in Bremen as well. Morning, Red Rita. Extremely dark still. It should start to get lighter, shouldn't it? We've had the winter solstice, which falls on my brother's birthday, 21st of December. So it should start to get a little bit of a creep in of a bit more lightness, fighting away the darkness as we make our way to spring. Still got a few weeks of winter left though, I reckon, haven't we? Right, we're getting up there. It's 1 minute to, so have a space. You've probably got your favouriteest space that you head towards for your movement snacks anyway. Clear space, bit of external support, seated option or start seated. It's up to you. Right, it is 8 o'clock. Let's just have a couple more sips here. That should do. All right, look after that. 3, 2, 1. Good morning, welcome. And Happy New Year to everyone. It's January. It's January the 2nd, and I believe it might be a Tuesday today. This is where you'll get your 8 a.m. medley of moves to warm up and loosen and get yourself ready for the day. Do you want to go on the windowsill, Ron? Okay, right, decide in a minute. All right, into good posture then. So sit tall, stand tall. Let me hotch this back a bit. Right, that'll do. So yes, sitting tall or standing tall. You might want to start with some external support, just a light fingertip touch rather than leaning and hunkering over. Get your chest, your shoulders up, back and down, and just pedal through your feet. Let's get the ankles moving. The knees have got a bit of movement in there for standing rather than seated, and into the hips a fraction as well. Now you can progress that as quickly as you like into leg marches, or just stay with the foot pedals a little bit longer. Hip walk forwards if you're not already forwards, by the way, in seated. So we've got the shoulders open. No, we've got the shoulders back and down. We've got the chest lifted and open. Keep going there. Can't you decide, Rommel, what's going on? Here we go with some arms then. Elbow bent. Just brushing lightly through the side of your body. Bring this second arm in if you like. Opposite arm to leg. Rhythmical, fluid. Not high intensity at all. We could perhaps do this for ages. Your breathing rate will just increase slightly though. Elbows driving back or just one arm at a time, depending on what you need today with regards to external support. So we should be warming up now. Everything starts to build a little bit of temperature. The muscles, the joints, the fluid within your joints will start to loosen as it warms up as well, all making movement smoother and easier. And specific through our mobility moves. So arms relaxed. If you need an external support, have that in a place that's not going to hinder shoulder movement. And we've got a lift and a press. Try not to drop or jolt anything. Just smooth and steady. About 5 of each. Getting a little bit of an increase of space between those ears and shoulders during that press down action. Shoulder rolls, so forwards a little bit, but really exaggerate this up, round, back and down movement, which really opens the chest. Great for posture. Great for loosening all of the stiffness that we can get that builds up tension in our neck, our shoulders. You'll feel the muscles in your upper back there just pinch and squeeze together. And your arms will move better in all directions. There we go. There's your shoulders done. Head turns coming in next. Ooh. Let's just go there. Okay, so you might want to hold on to your external support. Some of you might decide to sit down. Either which way, move slowly when turning your head, just so that we're not rushing, we're not whipping our head round. That could challenge our balance or make us feel a bit dizzy. We don't want none of that. Let's just focus on opening the neck. At that very end point, you might feel a small pull in your neck area. That will loosen. It should loosen up as you get through the third, the fourth, the fifth. Have a bit extra in the middle if your dizziness is playing you up today. Sometimes it can be a little bit worse in the morning than it is later on in the day. I know some of you do say that and tell us that's how you feel. All right, take a pause there. Chin tucks. Not a massive movement, but a really important one for restacking the spine. And as well, the weight of our head pulling and tugging on our neck area can be alleviated through better posture and our balance as well. Our head weighs a lot. So put your fingertips onto your chin, tuck your chin back, and then release without an extra jut. Just easy as you go there. Beneficial to do with your head resting against a headrest of some description. You might have a high-backed chair. You might be travelling in the car and you've got a headrest. Often that's where I chuck a few extra chin tucks in. And there we go. You should feel more lifted, lengthened, open and looser there in the top half. Okay, take your hands together, unless you've got your hands on external support. And we've got a reaching and a rowing action. In with the trunk now. Now, all of our trunk movements can be made better, steadier, more secure, and can improve our technique with decisions around where to place your feet, how to hold your knees, and whether to use external support in front of you or behind you, or whether to sit down to do some of these trunk moves. Take a pause there, just do 1 or 2 more, finish off. Reset, have a little look down. Where are your knees? Where are your feet? Where are your hips? Arms, maybe one hand on external support, into the side bend, which tends to feel rather stiff and tight to the side that you're leaning away from. Oh yeah, that does. If you're in seated, just to focus on keeping hips planted into your chair, so there's not a lift off of one side of your bum there. The top shoulder stays open rather than falling or rolling back on you. So we're literally square to the front. Notice that first one and start to progress your way to the last one. Notice the last one and how different that feels, just with the beauty of 5. So loads of times in the day, the spine will be moving around, small ranges, larger ranges, reaching, picking up, putting down, and twisting and turning too, which is coming up next. So keep your feet flat and planted. Hips often start to twist and shift on this move. So a couple of things you can do. Press your feet into the floor so that the foot doesn't roll, and get into the knees a little bit. So that they're always soft, and that way you can try and isolate the top half that's moving away from the bottom half that's staying still. Arms can be wherever is comfortable. You may put your hips against something. On trunk twists, it's better to have a table or the worktop in the kitchen, or a windowsill or a shelving unit that you've got a little bit of room to take yourself around. I'm a bit stuck here against this part of the wall, so that might restrict your movement if you're backed up against a wall rather than something that you've got a bit more room around your elbow sides. Smooth and steady, unforced, comfortable, building range, reducing stiffness. The chin, not the chin tucks, the back extension, which does involve a chin tuck. If we're flipping our chin up to look at the ceiling, that can affect our balance. Keeping the chin tucked, that might not be comfortable for your neck either. So keeping the chin down and the neck long is key in this back extending move. Hands can be on external support or on your thighs or round at your hips. It's entirely up to you. But lift tall, sit tall, stand tall. Shoulders are feeling open. Chin is feeling down. And then take your shoulders back and away. Straight in, straight into a recovery, standing tall. Lift, lift, lift. You'll feel big space increase here between ribs and hips. You'll feel your back bend, your back possibly feeling quite stiff. I always find doing these 3 trunk movements makes a real difference to having had spent about 8 hours or so in bed. Knees are still comfortable in that soft bend, and have a go at 1 or 2 more. Make your way up to that 5th repetition. Okay, meeting that 5th repetition means that all of our trunk moves are done. We're down at ankles, feet and toes now. So get some pedals on the way. Bit of extra circ boost. Extra preparation for legs if you've been standing still for a while, or if you've been sat down and you've not done much for a while. A bit of circ boost for legs, gets the blood flow going, also gets some looseness and some preparedness to the ankles, feet and toes. So here we go, fidgety feet, so some lifts. Good few moves as well here to do if you're on any journeys. So you're going to be sat in the car, sat in on a train or travelling on the plane. Good moves to keep circulation going and prevent you being chair shaped when you try and get up and walk and move. So some toe tucks now, toe crunches. You might want to do a few toe taps. Right, here in seated you've got 2 options. A forwards position sat in the chair, that's where I am now. And let me just swizz to the side a bit. You've got a toe tap followed up by a heel dig, just lifting the knee to give space for the foot to really move underneath you there. If you want that with a bit more support, you're a bit further back in the chair, supporting your posture, and you've got the leg lifted, pointing and pulling back with the foot there. Just from the side, you can see length at the top and pulling the toes back to flatten the feet there. Now, we've got one in standing as well, but this could be a bit of a balance challenge for some of you. So let's hold external support, set the standing legs strong before we set off. If we're having to consider our balance, then we're probably not getting the best out of this heel toe move. This is a really light toe tap and a light heel dig, so no weight going through the toes or the digging action there. And all of that translates into stepping actions, walking, turning around actions, tucking your feet back to prepare to stand, all of those things. Uh-oh, Dawn's back on the computer today and work for you today. Yeah, Bob's gone off to work already, not too chuffed. And yeah, well, I'm going to have to open mine at some point today, I reckon. But in the meantime, on the plan for today is Rommel to the vets. Be aware that the 12 noon might be a little bit late. So, I don't know, 1:15. As soon as I get in, I'll be on the live. And appointment checkup at the hospital for me today a bit later. Plus, I'm going to go on a walk. So, Anita, you're in my village. You might see me walking every single day. I've planned to do this. Walking up to Saddington and back down to home. That's my plan to get going. All right, everyone. Have a good day, whatever your plan is to get going. And hopefully I'll see you back here for the 12 noon. And Bex will meet you for the 4 p.m. at around 4 p.m. See you later.